This video is an extension of a video I did the other day titled Difficult Questions, in which a viewer asked, why is it important to believe in eternal life? And I answered by saying it's more important to live in love with God than it is to believe in eternal life and your beliefs in general. Then I had another viewer named Matt who responded and said, you must believe the right things about God in order to live in love with Him. And I agree with that. He made a really good analogy. He said that if you believe that your father goes out and hits puppies on the head with a baseball bat every day, you're not going to have a very good relationship with them. But, and he made the point that you believe that because that's what your brother tells you. But once you find out that your brother was not telling the truth, and you find out from your father that he actually goes out and plays for the Yankees, and he just happens to bring his favorite bat from home every day, that's a much different understanding of what your father is out there doing every day. Anyways, it was a pretty good analogy. I probably didn't quote it exactly how he said it, but it's true. And there's a principle behind that, which is what I want to talk about. The principle behind this is trust. You have to be able to trust somebody to live in love with them. And if you have bad beliefs about God, then you're not going to be able to trust him. Now, the amount of bad beliefs there can be any number of bad beliefs. I've had plenty, and I'm sure you have too. One of those bad beliefs is believing that God creates evil, which would do exactly what that analogy says. It says, well, you know, if you believe that God is out there creating evil, well, then you're not going to trust him. And so love with him is impeded. That's why I don't believe that particular belief, that particular theology. But there's plenty like that. In my own case, I used to believe that God was just a taskmaster, just driving, and he was mysterious and distant and just looking at us all with extremely high expectations and waiting for us to get it right, waiting for us to get things perfect. And it was just this constant treadmill of never knowing if you're pleasing him, etc., etc., etc. But once I realized that he's not like that, he's like a real father, because he is a real father, because he's the prototype of all fathers, good fathers. My whole view of him changed, and my trust in him went through the roof, which enabled me to love him. So Matt is correct. You have to have proper beliefs about God in order to trust him. How do you get those proper beliefs? By getting to know him. Because once you get to know him, he will eradicate your improper beliefs, and he'll replace them with the right ones. He'll pinpoint them. He'll go like that to you. When you're talking to him, or you're stating something you believe, or you're just, once you're in that relationship, he'll be like, excuse me? You're what? I've had this happen several times. I'll give you a couple examples. One time I had a friend die. He accidentally committed suicide. He'd been going through a rough time, and he was drinking too much, and he drank too much with the medicine he was on, and well, he killed himself. And this was probably 12 years ago. And I was talking to the Lord about it. This is when I didn't know the Lord very well. I knew him some. And I was like, I was still hung up on the belief in, that people would not end up with God, and, punishment, eternal punishment and stuff like that, which I'm not hung up on anymore, but I was hung up on it then. So I was like, Lord, where is this guy? Is he? And he stopped me right in the middle, and he goes, excuse me? You're asking me what? It's like, Stupid thing to ask. Had to happen another time when I was thinking about AI and how it's becoming ubiquitous and how the potential for abuse exists. If you just think about it. And I was like, Lord, are you at all concerned about AI? And he stopped me right there. He's like, excuse me? You're asking me what? So when he does these kind of things to you, it reinforces his character of who he is. He's like, don't even believe that crap about me. And you're like, oh, right. So you have to believe the right things about God. So when I said in that video that beliefs are not as important as love, it's true. Because even like Matt said, love is the most important thing. But beliefs are important in that regard. They're important in the regard to how you relate to God. And they're important in your regard to how you relate to yourself and others. Especially yourself. Which is another video I'm going to make soon, because it's very important what you believe about yourself, because you act in a manner consistent with what you believe about yourself. So, but for now, that's all. I just want to give a shout out to Matt and his excellent observation. Thanks, and have a great day.